Good afternoon and evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is David Schlotthauer here with another detailed weather forecast as we are tracking a very big storm system that is anticipated for the eastern seaboard, the northeast, and big time snowfall for the upper Great Lakes. Before we do get started, let's take a look at trilogymaps.com promotion. I am incredibly excited to announce that I'm officially an affiliate with trilogymaps.com. The link will be in the description and the pinned comment below. Trilogy Maps has created the highest definition and the most customizable digital maps you can find anywhere online at a highly affordable price. These maps are so customizable due to a very unique and innovative layering system that makes it possible to create whatever map you like. Making weather maps that look incredibly professional has never been this easy before. So if you want the highest definition, the most customizable, and the most professional looking weather maps that you can make up for a very affordable price, go ahead and check out trilogymaps.com. Again, also be sure to use my 20% off discount code by going to trilogymaps.com and then entering the code DAVID before finalizing your purchase. Now with that being said, let's take a look at our latest satellite imagery provided by tropicaltidbits.com, Levi Cowan, that makes this so much possible for us as viewers to look at. So first of all, we have two systems that are going to collide into one another across the eastern half of the US. The first one is down here in the Gulf Coast of Florida, Alabama, Georgia, and Mississippi, bringing severe weather, tornadoes, heavy rainfall, some severe weather. And then the northern portion of the system is up here in Wisconsin and Michigan. That portion will bring in quite a bit of snowfall, very strong winds, and much colder temperatures. So when these two really collide here in the eastern seaboard, we are going to be talking about some very powerful winds, very heavy rainfall, and some flood problems. Now, when we take a look at our latest meso model, this is the 12-kilometer NAM, and we can see where the heaviest rainfall and thunderstorms are occurring, and that is in southern Georgia, southern Alabama, southern Mississippi, including for Florida, where they have had severe weather today. They have had a couple of tornadoes, strong winds, and heavy rainfall so far in this portion of the U.S. But guess what? This is that same system that's going to lead to a lot of big problems for the eastern seaboard and for the northeast. So let's go forward in time here by tomorrow early morning. So by Sunday morning, when you're waking up early to go to church or doing anything outdoors, it's going to be very soggy, moderate to heavy rainfall over, say, from eastern Georgia into the Carolinas, Virginia, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, Maryland, and New York. Talk about some pretty good rainfall rates, anywhere between about a half an inch an hour or so. We're looking at maybe a half an inch an hour across Norfolk portion there of, say, Virginia. If you are along the easternmost portion there of North Carolina, you're looking at that frontal passage of heavy rainfall and gusty winds. But look at what's going on up here in Wisconsin. That is not rainfall. That is actually blue. That's snowfall and wet snow, very likely across much of the state here, especially over Lake Superior and Lake Huron. It's going to be very, very bad. You're talking some pretty intense snowfall rates out of this winter storm because you got still that cold air aloft that's going to be moving over the rather warm lake waters. That's going to lead to more snow. But look at this. Light to moderate rainfall is anticipated for the eastern seaboard. While it doesn't look all that significant, what will probably be more significant will be the winds. But that snow continues across, again, Michigan. Look at Wisconsin. A lot of blue up here on the screen. This is going to be making weather headlines, to say the least. I don't want to hype this up, but this is a pretty big deal for a lot of you folks living up here in the Great Lakes, such as Wisconsin and Michigan, and even the upstate there. This is May 1st. I mean, this is not January. This is not February or March. This is May 1st, and you're seeing snow. So just kind of take my word, it's going to be pretty nasty, gnarly up there. May 2nd, you're looking at quite a bit of a few showers that could be heavier at times across Pennsylvania. Little bit of snow for Erie, Pennsylvania, for Cleveland, Ohio, and then that system just kind of hangs around for a while, all the way through Wednesday and Thursday, about the time we get our fair share of rain here back west with much colder temperatures. It's kind of a coast-to-coast deal, I guess. So when we take a look here at our rainfall accumulations, anywhere between 2 to 2 to 3 inches of rainfall is expected over Pennsylvania, much of New York. Look at that, maybe as much as 6 to 8 inches of rainfall potentially for southern Maine. 2 to 4 inches of rainfall over Massachusetts, Vermont, as well as, say, if you're in Rhode Island, even for Cape Cod there, anywhere between about 1 to 2 inches of rainfall expected for the southeast. That will fall through early tomorrow morning, and then it's all done out of here. But look at that, quite a bit of moisture up there in northern Wisconsin, and that leads us to this. Snowfall totals, quite a bit, anywhere between 3 to 5 inches if you are in western Michigan. But look at this, northern portion there of Wisconsin. That purple that you see on your screen, that is a lot of snow, possibly as much as 1 to 3 feet at least. Now, of course, it says 64 inches. I don't believe that by any means because that is very localized. But nevertheless, it is going to be a lot of snow, and it could lead to a lot of problems because this is going to be a wet, slushy snow that could really put a lot of weight on tree branches. It's almost like freezing rain, but it's snow instead. Look at this, for Ontario, Canada, maybe as much as a couple of feet of snowfall for the first couple of days of May. So this is very eerie in its way, very unusual to see. And yeah, maybe as much as 2 inches of snowfall potentially for Erie, Pennsylvania, maybe an inch or so for Cleveland, Ohio, and for the higher elevations there for West Virginia, might see a couple of inches. So some very rare snow to see, right? That's early May for you. And it's going to come with it for some strong winds and some much colder temperatures. You might want to see the temperature anomaly here forecast in a little bit towards the end of the video because it is looking pretty ominous. So here's a look at the wind forecast. We can see for tomorrow morning, winds 15 to 25 across Georgia and the Carolinas. Winds do pick up a little bit if you are along the eastern seaboard like Maryland, Delaware, possibly Pennsylvania, where you might get winds anywhere between 20 to 30 miles an hour, and then that wind moves out of the area. That's just one piece of the wind energy. But look at more wind across the upper Midwest and portions of the northern plains and the Great Lakes, where you could see winds anywhere between 20 to 30 miles an hour, maybe some blizzard conditions up across northern Wisconsin because of that lake effect snow that is anticipated. And then that kind of ends this forecast here for May 2nd for the 60-hour period with those winds. So wind gusts anywhere between 40 and 50 miles an hour, possibly up to 60 miles an hour along the coast of Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire. Could see some very intense wind gusts there. Not to mention even down here in Georgia, you might get gusts anywhere between 40 and 50 miles an hour. Part of that surface low that rapidly gets going once it moves offshore. It kind of takes a track like that. And so right along that is where you're going to see the strongest winds. Now let's take a look now at our upper level future forecast. This is a look at the 500 millibar level, and no wonder why. We have two systems to contend with. Remember what we showed you on satellite? That's the big trough that we have up here in the Great Lakes. There's a shortwave trough right here that is going to bring a lot of energy, maybe some severe weather for the eastern seaboard because of that. Maybe some large hail, gusty winds, and tornadoes because of the diffluent pattern aloft, and we get some of that directional shear in place. That gets absorbed gradually within the larger scale pattern here that is going to be over much of the northern upper Midwest and also for the Northeast. But my gosh, what a crazy weather pattern to say the least with that mega trough that is going to be causing some chaos as far as your temperatures go, and rare May snow for the northern Wisconsin region, and even for portions there of the upper Great Lakes, actually upper Midwest and the Great Lakes. So temperature anomalies, definitely going to be cold. Temperatures 20 to 30 degrees below the long-term average. Going to see some 20s and 30s up there across Michigan. If you're in, say, Indiana, Ohio, going to be very cold on Sunday and Monday. That continues to be the thing all the way into Tuesday and Wednesday. Even into Thursday and Friday, it's just going to be cold through much of this week. All right, well, that is going to do with today's video. If you did enjoy it, please consider sharing this, liking, and subscribing, and also check out trilogymaps.com. There will be a link in the description below this video, and also check out the Weather Force Discord server too. That's going to do it. I will be back with you more tomorrow with another detailed weather forecast.